What's going on? Did you realize that 90% of all communication is non-verbal? So listen, it's in our smile. It's in the use of our facial gymnastics, how we use our hands, how we use our body, our shoulders, how we use our eyebrows and our eyelashes to really get our points across. Does that make sense? So in this powerful video, I'm going to show you 4 really amazing ways that you can use body language 10 times more powerfully in your next presentation. Because please be clear, strong nonverbals will make you look like a world-class champ on stage, and weak nonverbals will have you looking like a world-class chump on stage. And we're not doing any of that stuff. So let's rock out. First thing I want you to do is I want you to understand that one of the biggest keys to your nonverbal success as a speaker is your smile. Yes. And I want you to smile a whole lot more in your presentations, because according to Psychology Today, when you smile, your brain picks better words. It uses better vocabulary. It literally changes the words that you type. If you smile while typing an email, the email that you create and the email that lands on the other side will be received better. Studies show this. So y'all, your smile is really, really important. And listen, I think it's so important that we smile in our presentations because it changes our tone of voice and it changes the intonation of our voice as well. So if you want to give better presentations, smile more while you're doing it. I'm gonna give you a quick example of what I'm talking about. Nonverbal communication is a really, really important part of your ability to speak with power. See, I just said that whole thing without smiling. Now I'm gonna say it again. Nonverbal communication is one of the biggest keys to delivering incredible presentations. You see the difference? All I did, I kept the same tone of voice. The only thing I shifted was what? My smile. So one of the number 1 keys to your nonverbal success on stage as a speaker is your smile. And listen, it doesn't have to be cosmetically perfect, but you do need to have a genuine smile. And it's a universal language. No matter what language is in the audience, if you smile, everybody will be able to relate to you. Second thing I want you to do if you want to master the nonverbals of your next presentation is improve your stance and improve your posture. Make sure that in your next presentation, you stand nice and firm and strong. Does that make sense? Make sure that you distribute the weight between both of your legs. Right? Make sure that your shoulders are square and that your head is high when you're delivering your presentation. Really work on your posture, your stance. How you stand matters when giving a presentation, and make sure that when you come to deliver, that you deliver from a powerful position. Does that make sense? You want to be both feet planted firmly on the stage so that you can deliver no matter how big or small that stage is. Your stance and your posture matters. Okay? So if you want to give a better presentation, even if you're sitting, right? And for example, if I'm sitting, I notice I never sit with my back all the way on the back of the chair. No. I want to be more on the edge of the stool, and I still want my posture to come across as strong, compelling, conviction, and just connected to my audience in a powerful and more profound way. Does that make sense? So smile, stance. Number 3, eyes. Your eyes are the gateway to the soul, right? So it's very important that you literally leverage your eyes 10 times better in your presentations. It's one of the biggest keys to your nonverbal success is literally being intentional about opening your eyes more, opening your eyes wider, letting your eyes sparkle, letting there be a dance in your eyes as you're speaking and as you're presenting, knowing when to squint your eyes, knowing when to do this. So if I say a powerful quote and I say the 2 most important days of your life is the day that you're born and the day that you figure out why. Ooh-wee. Look what I'm doing with my eyes when I say ooh-wee. I'm like, man, I'm literally saying, okay, that's powerful, right? So I'm using my eyes to say that's powerful without saying the words that's powerful. That's how you can use your eyes to really convey your message. Knowing when to squint, knowing when to lean in, knowing when to kind of squint one eye against the other, knowing when to have them both really nice and bright. Does that make sense? These are all things that you get a chance to practice the more you work on your speaking and presentation. Practicing non-verbally is a huge element to that as well, because at the end of the day, 70 to 90% of all communication is non-verbal. So make sure that your eyes are popping, okay? Number 4, make sure your gestures are strong. Your gestures are how you use your hands, how you use your legs and feet, how you gesture, how you bring your points across. Making sure that you bring your points across with power, with strength, determination, conviction, passion. Does that make sense? These are all gestures. Man, it was a beautiful day outside. That's a gesture. Off at the distance, that's a gesture. I was blown back by her ideas. That's a gesture. You know, it really made me think about the last time I said something powerful like that to my daughter. That's a gesture. All of these are simple examples of how you can gesture to get your point across during your presentation. And the more you act out the point you're making using your gestures, the more powerful the presentation will be and the more impactful impactful it will be for your audience. Notice what I just did, impactful, right? So I used an impactful gesture as I said the word impactful. Does that make sense? Notice how I just used my eyes. Does that make sense? I'm kind of dialing in to where you are. These are all nonverbal cues to see if you are really tracking with where I'm going. Does that make sense? So last thing I want to share with you, if you really want to take it to the next level with your body language, is your tone of voice. Are you super excited in this presentation? Is it like, oh my God, this is amazing? Or are you going to use more of a deliberative, contemplative type of a tone of voice? Or are you more like, hey, kind of happy-go-lucky, go along, get along, Hakuna Matata, you know, it is what it is, baby, right? Are you trying to have an accent in your tone of voice? Are you trying to represent a certain part of the country or a certain part of the world? Are you using some type of a dialect, right? Are you using different types of slang language? All these play into voice tone. Does that make sense? And it's important that you take your audience on a vocal roller coaster ride. Use excited tone of voice. I could not wait to get to this presentation. I'm so stoked. And I also remember what it was like when I got the call that my mom had passed 9 years ago, April 30th, 2013, 5:30 p.m. Eastern. That was the day I lost my best friend. Notice how the tone of voice matches, right, the intensity of what it is that we're trying to discuss in that moment. So you want to use your tone of voice to really shift the narrative around how your audience interprets what it is that you're saying and what you're teaching and what you're sharing in your presentation. Notice how I just gestured using what you're sharing, what you're presenting, what you're teaching. When I use my arm to do that, 1, 2, 3, that was a gesture. Does that make sense? Hey, I hope you're enjoying this video, my friend. Listen, if you know that you want me as your mentor to take you to the next level, I highly encourage you to spend 1 year with me in our Inner Circle program. Do me a favor, click the link in our description so that you can learn more about our 1-year mentorship program called the Inner Circle Monetize Your Message Mastermind. So I want to encourage you to start not just watching speakers and listening to what they say, but I also want you to sometimes just maybe mute the audio and just watch how they do what they do, and it will help you become a 10 times better presenter. Body language is 90% of all communication. So use your body language 10 times more powerfully and you will deliver 10 times better presentation. Can't wait to see you in the next video. It's Dr. Delatorro.